Alright, everything you're about to see me do is the very first time I've ever done it, so I've never made anything out of leather. This is my very first time doing everything you're about to see in the video. So you can leave me some comments and tell me how to do it the right way, but do it kindly, please. Thanks. Alright, so I got this leather here, and I have no idea really what kind of leather it is. I got it off of Amazon.com probably. Could have got a better deal and better quality somewhere else, but you know, I don't really know what I'm doing. It said 100% top grain. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is I'm making a card wallet from a template off of goldbarkleather.com. So he has some instructables, guides on how to make. There's 3 beginners projects right now, so I'm going to go through each one of those probably. And the first one is this wallet. So I have the template here. So this is what I'm going to do. I've got some dye, some fibings or phoebings, leather dye. Now, I think I meant to get oil dye, so I don't know what the difference is between the oil dye and this one, which says just leather dye. I have no idea. So this is my plan. I'm going to cut the template out, and then I'm going to use as little of this leather as I can, and I think that I'll cut out around what I need. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so there are the 3 pieces of the template. I guess I got to cut that curve out, but at least I can get an idea of how much leather I need. So I guess I'll cut a little square around that and then just dye that little section. And I guess at some point I'll pull up his tutorial and actually read it, so just to make sure I'm doing the right thing. But I'll do that after I cut this out. I'm going to read his tutorial over there and then see what he says about dyeing. And then I'm going to go ahead and start dyeing. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and cut this out first, this little curve. Not too shabby. Okay, I read the tutorial and he uses a sponge. I don't have a sponge. I've got this thing that came with the leather dye, and it says on the side to use this and then wipe off the excess with a cloth. So I've got a cloth. I think I'm going to try that. I don't know if I'm supposed to shake it. Let me see. It doesn't say. This says to clean the leather with a deglazer. I don't have that either, so oh well. You know, I meant to get something to lay down so I wouldn't get it all over the cutting board, but oh well. It is soaking this stuff up. Really soaking it up. It's pretty dark. I was watching a YouTube video and saw somebody do this. I guess maybe to even it out. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Looks like I got a little bit of unevenness in there. Just kind of going based off of what I read and what I've watched on YouTube. And yeah, it looks like I've got some on the back side too. Oh well, I don't really know what to do about that. Alright, at this point I think it's supposed to dry. After it dries, I'm going to put some of this carnauba cream on it. Alright, it's the next day, because I dyed this pretty late last night, so it's been drying all night long. So I guess the next step now is to put some wax or carnauba cream on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that using a kind of like a t-shirt rag. This says to shake it well, apply with a soft cloth, allow to dry, and then buff. It's got like a green tint to it. I guess I'll let it dry for a little bit and then come buff it off a little bit more. Alright, so it's dried and looks pretty good. I'll buff that out a little bit more. So now it's got a really dark brown texture, and I could see some spots maybe where I didn't dye quite as well, or unless it's just the way the leather took the dye, I don't know. But I need to trace out the templates now, so which I have here. It's kind of sliding around a bit, so it may be a little difficult. I'm going to try my best. I got a cheap awl here, so I'm going to try to just do this slowly. This is a little bit harder than I thought it would be. It wouldn't slide around on me. It would be easier out of some, like, I don't know, cardstock or something. It'd be easier to trace it out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's not perfectly straight. It's actually pretty bad. I guess when I cut it out using a ruler, the edges will be straight, but man, it came out horribly. Going around these little curves on these corners, these rounded corners is a little difficult too. There. Alright, so now I got to cut the pieces out. So I really need to get a better, smaller ruler. This thing seems like it's too big. The bottom line looks a little crooked, so I'm going to go off the top lines first and then line that straight line up against one of these lines and cut the other side. And I'm going to try my best to make as square of a cut as possible, registering the edge of this ruler against this yellow line here. Okay, got the tops and the bottoms cut out on all of them, at the sides. Now comes the hardest piece of all, cutting this curve out of this top part. So I guess I'm going to use this X-Acto knife and just do the best I can. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, so the next part of the tutorial that I'm following is to smooth out the underside of the leather with some gum tragacanth. So it says to put some of this on the back and rub it until it's smooth. So I'm going to do that. I guess I'll just use this little piece of leftover rag to apply it. And this stuff's got smells like some kind of cleaner. So I don't know how much to put, but I'm just going to kind of coat it. I'm going to just keep doing that until I go through all 3 pieces, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so the backs are all, I don't know if I did it enough, but it was made smoother. Still a little damp, but I think the next part I'm supposed to, it says to dye and burnish this edge here, since I won't be able to get to it, I guess, after it's glued together. I don't think I'm going to dye it. I'm just going to burnish it. I think it might look kind of nice without the dyed edge, so. And I don't have anything but this brown leather dye, and I don't know, I'm just going to try to just burnish the edge on this one. But I'm going to sand a little bit just to make sure that my edge that I cut out is to the line. There's a couple spots where it's not all the way to the line. I'm just going to try to sand down until I get to that line. I guess I've kind of folded the leather over a little bit. Doesn't look like it's supposed to be like that. I think that'll do. Now I'm going to apply some gum tragacanth to the edge here and burnish it with this. How long am I supposed to keep this up? Somebody let me know that. I guess just until it looks good. Okay, so I think I might have been pushing a little bit too hard. I can see almost like a crease here where I folded it. I did notice while I was burnishing I was pushing down kind of hard, so I need to, I guess, not do that next time. So next is gluing. I do need to glue this piece to this piece. So I've got this contact cement. Let's just give it a shot right there on the edge. Pretty strong smell. I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit and then we'll put them together. So I don't know, it hadn't even been 15 minutes yet, but it's glossy. So I don't want it to go too long. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and join them together. And it's not wet anymore, it's sticking to my finger, so. Ian Atkinson, I've watched a bunch of his videos, and he has this cobbler's hammer that he hammers down with. I've just got a regular hammer, so I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I guess that'll do. So now I need to join this piece here on the back. And my guess is I need to put a little bit of glue on the edges. So I'm guessing I need to scuff it up just a bit. Let me first decide where I'm going to put it. About midway up, I guess. So in between those 2 marks, I need to, I suppose, sand a little bit. So let's do the same thing on this. I think next I need to mark out the grooves for the stitching. Alright, so before I make the stitching groove, the grooves for the stitching, I read the template says I need to make sure my edges are even. Otherwise, I mean, it makes sense if I'm making this groove. If it hits that piece that's sticking out a little bit, it'll put the groove offset. So this little money clip part is sticking out past the edge just a little bit, so I need to clean that up. So now I can take this. It says I need to go around both sides. I'm stopping a little short because I don't think it needs to go all the way to the edge. I guess that'll do. You can see where I got a little way from the edge, so that's going to look messy, but at least it's on the back side. And it's kind of hard to get all the way up against the, all the way up to the money clip right there. Alright, here's the part of the project that I was kind of really nervous about. I don't know why. I was nervous about doing this groove too, and I did mess up on the back a little bit, but first piece, you know. So I gotta cut the holes for the stitching. And I've got this little set of stitching chisels I got, or diamond chisels that I got from Amazon. Probably not the best there are, but so I'm a little nervous because some people were showing pictures of them with the teeth broken off. So I've got this piece of cedar, and cedar is really soft, very, very soft. I feel like it'd be softer than this mat. So what I think I'm gonna do is use this piece of cedar to punch the holes. Now, I've got this mallet here, so that's what I'm gonna do. The tutorial from goldbarkleather.com says that find the first stitching hole and place the first tooth right at the edge, and then where the second tooth is poking into the leather, that's where the first hole will go. I'm trying to make an impression. Alright, so I've got it in the groove. Here goes. Nope, not through. Not all the way through. Partially through. It doesn't look like I went all through enough because it's not, the holes aren't as big on the back. Alright, I'll just keep on going around, I guess. I'm not in the groove on the back side. Maybe I wasn't straight up and down. I guess I need to get a smaller one so I can get on the corner. The back does not look really good. The front looks better, so I guess I'm ready for stitching. Of course, at this point, I don't actually have thread. It's in the mail. It's not going to get here in time, so I'm going to try to run to Tandy today, or if I can't get to Tandy, I'm going to have to go to Michael's, where they have some sinew. So I ordered some polyester waxed thread, but it's going to not get in here for another couple of weeks, and I don't want to wait, so I may be using the sinew. So it looks pretty even on the front, but on the back, not so good. You can see right here where I'm definitely off of that groove. So definitely got some practice to get in, which I'm excited about. Alright, so it's later in the day, and I did not get a chance to go to Tandy, which I found out there's a Tandy about an hour away near Atlanta. Didn't have an opportunity to go, so I went back to Michael's, and they had some artificial sinew. From what I've read, it can be used. I mean, it was in the leather crafting section at the store, so in order for me to at least get some practice in, I bought this. I did do a test piece just to see how it's going to work, and it worked, but it's like not bound together. It's a bunch of loose threads with a coating on it, so it was the knot was coming undone around the needle. So what I think I'm going to do this time, when I tie the knot, I'm going to burn the end so it won't come undone. So that's my goal anyway. So I got 2 needles here, and I put the sinew on the clamp here, and I don't know if I'm supposed to roll it first or if it's just the way it is. It's just like a big thick wide piece of thread. But I got some needles here that I got ordered from Amazon. They came from Tandy. I'm going to go ahead and put that through there. Now I did try to do the knot like I've seen people do with like polyester thread, where you poke through the middle and then pull it through and make a knot, but that did not work with this sinew. So I just ended up tying a knot, which I'm going to do right here. The knot kept coming undone, so I think I'm going to try to melt this sinew. That's going to make it hard to pull through though. See how that works. So I know I need about 3 to 4 times the length of my stitching, so I'm going to do 4, since just to give myself plenty. 4, a little bit extra just for good measure. All right, so I got all my thread. I'm gonna get set up in the stitching pony and be ready to go. All right, I've got the wallet in there. I don't know what side I'm supposed to start from. Honestly, I have no idea. I think I need to turn it around. I do know that I need to go through the first hole. Am I supposed to be working towards me or away from me? I think that I want to be working towards me. This is not panning out. So I'm gonna come this way. So So let me start right here. Okay, need to start one piece through. Okay, that's gonna be a pain to do every time. All right, so it's even. So I'm gonna come through this first hole here, and just based on what I watched from Nigel Armitage, however you pronounce his name, put the needle on top. This is gonna be a pain. Pull through, turn, push back through, wrap the string around, and then pull it. And just keep on going. This is coming undone. The sinew is not very fun. Oh, burnt the whole thing up. Okay. Wow, this is absolute irritation. All right, I'm gonna keep on going until I get to this corner, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, I've made it to the end of this first row, and the sinew is ridiculous. I've had to try to melt it. It's fraying here. I don't know how I'm gonna make it all the way to the end of this little wallet. I don't think it's gonna make it, but I'm gonna just go as far as I can, I guess. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm gonna keep on going. And because I've melted a knot on the end, I can't hardly pull it through a hole, so I'm having to take these needle nose pliers and pull the needle through. So it's slow going, but I'm gonna just keep on. I mean, so far I find it relaxing doing this, but the sinew's got me really nervous. I think I'm gonna much rather the polyester string or thread that I have coming in. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. I don't know how, but the sinew has lasted all the way to the end. I've got one more stitch left, but it's so threadbare here, and I've kind of got my fingers crossed on these last couple. Starting to get the feel of it. Oh, there it goes. That's no good. Sinew just popped. Try to pull the rest of it through. That's no good. Of course, on the last one. Well, I really don't know what to do at this point. I made it to the very end, and it broke on me. So I'm gonna kind of try to improvise here. Maybe I'll just tie it and call it done. I think I'm gonna just tie it on this side. Maybe. I don't know. What if I pass this through here again? Well, I was hoping to record me doing the back stitch, but obviously that's not in the plan. Now look at that. The other one just broke. Tell you what, I turned the camera back on at just the right time. Alright, so tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tie a needle back on this side and pass it back through and just tie it off right here, because I'm too nervous to mess up any worse. It's my first project and I really want it to work out. That's just gonna have to do, you know? It's just gonna have to do. I don't know what else to do. Tie a knot, cut it, and then I'm gonna stinking burn it. I definitely need to get some leather pads because I'm just damaging my workpiece. Well, I mean, I guess that works. Let's have a look at it. Alright, so here's what it looks like. You can see that the saddle pony or stitching pony kind of made an imprint, so I definitely need to get some leather. I mean, the stitching it worked out, but it just doesn't look perfect. You can see how it's outside of the groove there, and then I had to tie it off on a knot there. So definitely I got a lot of work to do on stitching, and I mean, I just kind of wrinkled the whole thing up by pulling on it and yanking on it. So let me I think the last thing to do is to bevel the edges and burnish the edges, and I should be about done. All right, and all I have at this point is a number 3 beveler, edge beveler. After reading a bit, I think I realized I probably needed a 2, so I've got a 2 coming, but all I have now is a 3, so I'm gonna bevel these edges with a 3. Alright, now I think all that's left is to do some sanding and then burnishing. So here's my sandpaper. I kind of roughed it up pretty good. Roughed it up a lot. Let's see if I have anything finer. I think 220 is about the finest I've got. That's usually all I sand up to woodworking. It looks real rustic now. Okay, I finished with all the water. I'm thinking now I probably should have dyed the edge. It's very rustic looking without being dyed. But anyway, maybe on the next one, I'll add some gum stuff and just keep going like I did with the water. It definitely looks better with the gum tragacanth. I'm gonna keep on going and I'll come back to you when I'm done. Alright, well, I'm done burnishing it. And yeah, I should have probably dyed the edges. It would probably look a little better, but you can see it looks pretty rustic. I mean, it actually looks like it's been already worn for at least 2 years, and it's brand new. That's just how rustic it came out. So let's take a closer look. Right, here you go. Like I said, it looks like it's a 2-year-old Elise wallet, just by how damaged it is from the stitching pony and just how rough the edges look. I mean, look at that. They're not even laying down all the way. So I guess I need to work on my burnishing. I need to work on everything, obviously, because I mean, it's wrinkled. But, you know, it's my first piece, and I'm happy. I had fun. I'm going to use it to see how it works out. I don't have any cash to put in the back, but I'll at least see if it fits a card. And I'll probably carry it around just because I'm happy and I like it. I can only go up from here, so this is something I'll keep for a long time, probably, as a memento. All right, so yeah, here it is. So it fits 1 card. I could probably fit 2 if I let it stretch out a little bit. So thanks to Gold Bark Leather, Justin is the guy over there, and he wrote a tutorial on how to make this. It's a good beginner project, I guess. I learned a lot, and I plan on doing his other 2 tutorials that he wrote, which is like a diary cover or journal cover and like a watch band. So check out goldbarkleather.com, and he's got a really cool looking website, and got a good blog over there. So thanks, Justin, for writing your tutorials and for answering the question. I even sent him an email, and he responded back. So I appreciate it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this build, and I do plan on putting some more out because I want to see how far I've gone years from now. It'd be fun for me to watch and look back and see where I started. My name's Chris, and I'll see you next time.